This is Dr. Phil Chavez of the Men's Academy. January 28th is the feast of Thomas Aquinas. Those acquainted with his life and work know there is much to be said. He was born in the castle of Roccasecca in central Italy in 1226. I have good memories of walking over the ruins of that castle several years ago when studying in Rome. St. Thomas was perhaps the greatest thinker who ever lived. And while intellectually astute in every gifting, his moral virtue also excelled to a remarkable degree. Now, he was recognized as an exceptional student by his teacher and mentor, St. Albert the Great, while he studied in Paris and Cologne. While excelling above all other students, he was quiet and seldom he spoke. This led the other students to believe he was mentally challenged. But Albert prophesied, "You call him the dumb ox, but his teaching he will one day produce such a bellowing that it will be heard throughout the world." St. Thomas wrote many amazing works. One of his largest and his best known is the Summa Theologiae, perhaps the greatest work ever penned outside of the Bible. Reading that set is life-transforming. While tremendously sophisticated even for the greatest of scholars, St. Thomas claimed in his prologue he wrote it to instruct beginners. My second favorite work is his Catena Aurea, a composite of various teachings of the Fathers of the Church on the Gospels. It's an amazing synthesis, also life-changing as regards my understanding of Christ and his journey. Now, in 1273, when St. Thomas was living and teaching at the Dominican monastery in Naples, the sacristan saw him crying and levitating in prayer before an icon of Christ crucified. Allegedly, Christ told him, "You have written well of me, Thomas. What reward will you have for your labor?" Thomas replied in Latin, "Non nisi te Domine," nothing but you, Lord. Thomas never spoke or wrote of this event, and he abandoned his routine duties, and when pleaded to return to work, he replied, "I cannot, because all I have written seems to me like straw." A copy of that icon that appeared to him is the main church of the cloister. The friars keep the original locked up inside. When visiting years back, the rector would not let me see it, but he was good enough, and I feel grateful that he let me spend significant time in the cell St. Thomas once lived. In May 1274, Thomas was called to the Second Council of Leon to present his work for Pope Urban IV. On the journey, Thomas hit his head on a branch of a tree and fell seriously ill. Eventually, the sickness led him to the Cistercian abbey at Fossa Nuova, where the monks cared for him. There he received his last rites, and the monks asked him to comment on the Song of Songs while he was dying. When visiting that room years back, I saw a bas-relief sculpture by Bernini showing St. Thomas dictating to 4 different scribes. As his final words, he recites, "Ingrediamur in hortu," let us go into the garden. And thereafter he dies on March 7th, 1274. St. Thomas Aquinas, pray for us. And brothers, God be with you. We appreciate you viewing our Manly Minutes. Thank you for whatever donation you can offer to make our content possible. Go to themensacademy.org/donate. Thank you.